adding the crowd. Yeah. The crowd added. Okay, so it's-
Good afternoon. My name is Carrie Russell and I'm a student at UW Superior. Raise your hand if you know what mindfulness is.
That's good.
As Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, Executive Director at the Center for Mindfulness in Medicine, Healthcare, and Society at the University of Massachusetts Medical Center stated, mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. I use mindfulness techniques in my work with autistic adults for 3 years, as well as researching this topic. Autistic adults may or may not need different forms of communication, but studies show that increased learning and a sense of value are felt when mindfulness is used. We each have our own way of communicating. People with autism are no different. As described in the DSM-5, autism is categorized by, among other things, communication deficits. People on the autism spectrum may range from either nonverbal all the way to having a huge capacity for clear communication. Frequently, people with autism communicate best when there are visual aids to help them understand what's happening. This is an example of a visual aid that I used when working with adults with autism. I found that when they understood what the schedule was and when there was a visual aid to go along with the schedule, such as pictures, they were much calmer about how the day was going to proceed. Nikki Steele, manager of rehabilitation at Bark Inc. in Viroqua, reports that when her clients are given ample time to communicate, they report a positive increase in feelings about the exchange. At the same time, we may recognize that it's important to have different tools for communication. We can explore the value of mindfulness on positive outcomes. Using mindfulness techniques when communicating with autistic adults has the potential to increase the value felt by both parties. One aspect of mindfulness is active listening. According to Rachel Caccio, in the review of Journal of Autism, mindfulness is associated with reduced anxiety, an increase in positive affect in high-functioning adults with autism. Richard Hastings writes in the January 95 issue of the Journal of Intellectual Disability that one factor likely to contribute to the observed and reported behavior of care staff is the nature of their beliefs about the causes of challenging behavior. This means that if we think something is going to go wrong, it probably will. Mindfulness when communicating can fill those gaps on both sides. Studies show that there are direct connections between increased learning and decreased aggressive behavior when using mindfulness specifically with autistic adults. Behavior and communication are closely linked. Aggressive behaviors are things such as inappropriate acting out, purposeful repetitive loud noises, or other efforts made to gain the negative attention of another. Aggressive behaviors frequently signal that the autistic person isn't able to communicate their needs. According to Rachel Caccio, when staff are trained in mindfulness, they have the opportunity for a more clear perception of others without the veil of clouded judgment, and as such may encourage individuals to become kinder and more sensitive to others. According to Nirve N. Singh, in the Journal of Research of Development Disability, aggression by individuals with autism may threaten their community placement. If the individual isn't feeling heard, they may act out. That's a communication breakdown, which could lead to threatening their home placement. Dr. Singh's research showed that mindfulness training had a significant effect on decreasing staff interactions, which in turn lessened the anxiety felt by all parties related to the home environment. Equally important in recognizing that each person is unique in their communication needs is the reality that communication barriers can often affect more than just a conversation. Using mindfulness when communicating with autistic adults has the potential to increase the value felt by both parties. One aspect of mindfulness is active listening. According to Rachel Katcha in the Review Journal of Autism, results indicate that mindfulness is associated with reduced anxiety, depression, and rumination, while increasing positive affect in high-functioning adults with autism. Using mindfulness when communicating can fill the gaps on both sides. To summarize, there are both large and small scale benefits to including a mindfulness perspective when communicating with autistic adults. Where can we go from here to support autistic adults in their communication? I hope that you've learned something today about communicating with autistic adults and the positive effects that mindfulness might have in communication. The use of mindfulness can increase the quality of communication. Special needs adults may or may not require different types of communication, but everyone can benefit from using mindfulness. Mindfulness, when communicating with autistic adults, has the potential to increase the value felt by all parties. And studies show a direct connection between increased learning and decreased aggressive behavior when using mindfulness with autistic adults. I have seen firsthand the effects of using mindfulness. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope you have a lovely afternoon.